What's up, traders? This is Jay at jtradinglive.com. I was posted a question by a member this morning that asked, why don't I buy stocks early in the morning? Because if you wait to buy them later in the day, you may have missed the move that it's made during the day. Essentially, why don't you get in at 10 o'clock in the morning when the stock is off to a start and it's triggered your indicators? Why don't you go ahead and buy then? Well, the simple answer is because by the end of the day, the stock may pull back and the indicator that was triggered may become null and void at that point. So let's take a look at potash, symbol POT. That happened exactly with this stock today. If you look down here, one of the major indicators that I'll look for is a stochastic with a signal line that I created. That's this orange line. And you can see that the stochastic came up. It made this V that I really look for a lot in stocks. Just one of the things I look for. You can't rely on any one single indicator to get you into a trade. You can rely on a combination of indicators, but even at that point, there's still an art to looking at stocks and understanding how they're moving in conjunction with the indicators triggering. If it was all just left up to an indicator triggering, then engineers would be millionaires and no one would be building roads or bridges because they would all be making their money in the stock market. So just because you have an indicator trigger does not mean that it's going to be a trade. But let's take a look at this case in point. So we've got this V shape right here. Let me zoom in here so you can see this a little better. We've got this V shape right here on the stochastic. The signal line is showing upward momentum. Now, at the beginning of the day, this stock opened here and shot up all the way. So we'll go to a 60-minute chart so you can see this a little better too. It opened up and shot all the way up, over $40 a share. Indicator was triggered. That's by 10 o'clock in the morning. So, you're shouting, oh, hey, it's triggered the indicator. It's a trade. We got to get in. Oh, this is looking great. But you can see the rest of the day, it did nothing but pull back. So, you could have jumped in at $40, and by the end of the day, your indicator has been voided, and you're sitting in a losing trade. Now, the first hour of the trading day is referred to by professionals as amateur hour. Today the market opened, I think, about 50 points up and proceeded to rise to up to 150 points, and I think closed around 125. So the amateurs at the beginning of the morning are jumping in saying, oh wow, this market's going up, this is great, let's get in, let's get our trades. Where the professional traders were in their trades yesterday and they're taking advantage of the move that's already happening. So, it's kind of a day late and a dollar short when you're jumping in first thing in the morning. So I never really trade. I'll sell stocks early in the morning if I have a profit, and I'll take advantage of, like they say, the amateurs coming in and buying and pushing my trade up. I'll sell it to them and take the profits early in the morning, but very rarely do I buy anything before at least noon. So let's go back to the daily chart of potash, P-O-T. And you can see, here, I consider the trigger to be met when this crosses over the 80 line. And let's see. We've butted right up against it, but also another thing that nullifies this trigger for me is that we've got a red candle, we've got a down day. So if a trigger triggers, even if this line was still above the 80, it would not be a trade for me because it's a down candle, it's a red candle. So, the trigger isn't going to be a sound trigger if it's triggering on a day that's a down day. It's up from yesterday's close, but the price action itself is showing negative momentum. even if the trigger is showing positive momentum. Again, that's just another part of the art of charting versus triggers, telling you automatically to get into a trade when it triggers. Let's take a look at Caterpillar. Same thing. Earlier today, Caterpillar, had a nice move. It was up nice. You can see right here the 200 EMA. It butted up against it and then pulled all the way back down. At some point today, it was triggered. Hey, this is looking like a good trade. But you wait until 3 o'clock to buy your stock, and you see that Caterpillar is no longer a trade. It's not even anywhere close to being a trade. It could be tomorrow. It could be, it could trigger tomorrow. If it triggers early in the morning, if it triggers at 10 o'clock, I'm not going to buy it. It could move up, a couple dollars by 3 o'clock. And sure, you may have missed some of that money as the trade's going up during the course of the day, but you have to have discipline when you're trading. And one of the things about having discipline is, you don't just jump in as soon as you see something. I used to do that. I used to, when I first started this, and I found this indicator, and I created this indicator right here, the stochastic with the signal line that I created, and I was seeing things happen, and here's a V cross through right here. Let's see what that did. Bam. Good solid indicator, and the stock moved up from there. There's nothing that's showing me that would have been a bad trade. I'd have to look at trend lines and stuff, but that would have possibly been a good trade to get into. Here, like I said, if it triggers tomorrow, just because you missed that dollar or two that may happen up until 3 o'clock or 2:30 or 2 o'clock, whenever you get into that trade, that's not the only day this stock's going to go up. Hopefully it's going to go up for, like you see here, several days. So, you're giving up maybe a small movement with the discipline of getting in and taking advantage of the rest of the movement at the risk of the signal being negated if you don't get in. So here's a stock that I did get into today. Synaptics, symbol SYNA. They are a touchscreen semiconductor stock. And you can see here, let's just zoom in again. You can see here we've been in a little bit of a horizontal channel with this stock, which is great. It's hit the channel, bam, bam, almost hit, bam, bam, bang. And today we broke out of this channel with the signal line showing some upward momentum, this reliable V symbol that I call here. We've also got this other stochastic crossing and showing some upward momentum. So all things considered, let me show you the 60-minute chart of this, because I'll show you what I was talking about a little earlier. So here, the stock opened at 34.50, and I didn't actually get into the stock until about right here. So yeah, sure, I missed 34.50. I missed $1.45 move on that stock, but I didn't know if the indicator was going to hold. But by the end of the day, the indicator did hold up, and I'm anticipating a move up to possibly $40 from $35.97. Pretty nice move. We'll see how it does. At the worst, I've got this 35.43 horizontal support line that I'm going to use as a stop out. If it falls too far below that, then I'll look to get out. But that's 50 cents down from where it is. So you've got a 50-cent down risk versus a $4 to $5 potential reward. So that's just a couple things that I wanted to go over. Why I don't buy first thing in the morning, why I wait until at least 2 o'clock, 12 o'clock, some point in the afternoon where the stock's at least made a good enough move that it's not going to pull back and negate the signal by the end of the day. Instead, I'm going to stay disciplined and wait to make sure that the signal itself is verified, and now I'm in for the rest of the move. Just one other thing, you can also see that we've got the 20 period EMA right underneath us here as well. So this stock looks like to have some good support underneath it. It's breaking out of this channel. Those are all good signs, combined with the stochastic and signal line crossing in my favorite little V shape. The other stochastic crossing, and it's got a lot of room to move up here too. So all in all, we'll see how the trade does. I feel pretty good about it. And join us at jtradinglive.com. We have free stock picks, and starting later this month, we're going to be broadcasting live throughout the trading day, breaking down charts and giving lots of trader education. So come by and check us out. Alrighty, good nighty.